and welcome to my birthday book haul. It was my birthday on the 23rd of March, which means I was bought books and then I also bought myself books. So let's get into exactly what I bought, because this bag is absolutely heaving, and to be honest, literally look at it, it is heaving. I need to empty it soon and put all of these books on my shelf. This is not going to be in any sort of particular order whatsoever. I'm literally just going through with what I pull out of the bag in like that order essentially. I'm going to go through everything in the bag first, and then I will be going through the Kindle stuff in a minute. So now let's get going, because this is going to be a very long video and a very long edit. So I'm going to just get on with it. First thing I'm going to show you though actually is not a book. Well, it's technically a book, but it's more of an ornament. This is a Christmas tree ornament, technically, that is based on The Hogfather, which is one of my favourite books of all time. I love it so much. It is a Terry Pratchett Discworld book where essentially, basically, the Discworld version of death has been kind of nearly killed essentially, so and that means that the presents will not be delivered, and if the presents won't be delivered, there will not be belief in the Hogfather anymore, and if there's no belief in the Hogfather, the sun will not rise in the morning. So death himself takes over and delivers all the presents, while his granddaughter Susan tries to figure out exactly what happened to the Hogfather. And this is a little ornament based on that. It says Happy Hogswatch on this side, obviously it's in the shape of a book, and then on this side it has got the cover on it, or like an approximation of the cover. So as you can see, on this side it says ho ho ho, and then on this side you've got the title, and then also Death's Scythe, and obviously like a whole bunch of like snowflakes and snow and all the rest of it. And I am obsessed. I love The Hogfather. I watch the adaptation every single year at Christmas. I love it. We call it Hogswatch every year. It is one of my favourite things. Terry Pratchett is one of my favourite authors, and when I saw that Abbey of Pelennor had a whole load of like Discworld related Christmas tree decorations and told me that they were on the Discworld Emporium, I immediately looked, but they didn't actually have any anymore. They've stopped selling them. So I went to Etsy, and this is what I found, and my mum bought it for me, and I am obsessed with this thing. It is not going on a Christmas tree. It is actually going to be spending its time on my bookcase, because this is too pretty to just put up for like 2 weeks a year. So it's going on my bookcase, and I absolutely adore it. It is so cute. I love it. And then we go into the books. The first thing I've got is City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaeffer. This is a pre-order that I put in, and this one, it says Face Your Fear or Become Your Nightmare. This was a auto buy for me because I really enjoy Rebecca Schaeffer's Market of Monsters series, and this one, I'm just going to read you the first paragraph because I think that sums up this book quite well. It says, ever since her sister became a man-eating spider and slaughtered her way through town, 19-year-old Ness has been terrified. Terrified of some other nightmare murdering her, and terrified of ending up like her sister. Because in Newham, the city that never sleeps, dreaming means waking up as your worst fear. And I am here for this. I absolutely loved the Market of Monsters series. I literally finished it 2 days ago at time of filming, and I just love it so much. I'm so excited to read this. I'm so excited to read this and see what Rebecca Schaeffer does outside of the Market of Monsters series and everything else. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I then also have Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. This one is specifically book 15 until the end, which is the basically the ending of the second series in the Skullduggery Pleasant overarching series essentially. And the reason why I got this one, even though I've already read this in hardback, is because I own all the rest of the books as well in paperback, and all of the spines line up to create one great big picture, and that actually meant that I also wanted to buy this one, which is the latest one essentially, so I could complete that picture. I don't really have much else to say about the shit apart from the fact that this is obviously about a magical skeleton detective and his partner Valkyrie Kane, who is a human girl who learns magic as they save the world from various magical threats. And my god, are there magical threats in this one. This is an epic finale. I love this book, and I'm so excited to finally have the paperback, so I now have a huge matching set with a really nice sort of big overarching picture going across all of the spines of the books. I then have 2 books that Abby of Pelennor gifted me, so thank you very much, Abby, for gifting me The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. This is the 5th and final one in the Wayfarer series, which is a slice of life companion series set in space. They're really fun and just sort of like, they feel a bit like a hug in a lot of ways, and they remind me of Star Trek, and I have loved this series, so very, very grateful to have this final book, so thank you very much, Abby, for gifting me this one. And then she also gifted me Kiki Kalara Breaks a Kingdom, and this one, I don't really know what this one's about. I've forgotten entirely. It just says it's an action-packed fantasy adventure for fans of Aru Shah and the Serpent's Secret. And the back it says, Kiki Kalara has always been a warrior. Recently her anxiety has been getting out of control, but one thing that has always soothed her is drawing. Her sketchbook is full of doodles of the rich Indian myths her mother has told her over the years. One day, Kiki falls into the magical world of her sketchbook, where her characters have been brought to vivid life. From the awesome band of rebel kids who protect the kingdom to the less awesome evil god bent on its total destruction. As the one responsible for creating him, Kiki must overcome her fear and anxiety to save both worlds, the real and the imagined, from his wrath. But how can a girl armed with only a pencil defeat something so powerful? It sounds really, really good. It basically sold me from that, but it also sold me for by saying that it was like the Aru Shah series, and I'm now really, really excited to read this one. I cannot wait. Thank you very much, Abby, for gifting me this one, and obviously Galaxy and the Ground Within. I then also got Like a Curse, which is the sequel to Like a Charm by Elle McNichol. This one is set in Edinburgh, and we're following a young dyspraxic girl who can see basically what's actually really there, so she can see all of the magical creatures and everything in Edinburgh. I really enjoyed the first one, and I'm now really, really excited to read the sequel as well. I obviously can't tell you what this one's about because of spoilers, but the first one was really good, and now I'm really excited to read this sequel as well. The next thing I have is Spirit Hunters by Ellen O. This one was gifted to me by my mum, so thank you very much to my mum for buying me this one. This one has been on my TBR for a really long time, or I should say my wish list, for like a couple of years now, and this one is a spooky middle grade about a haunted house, and that's all I really needed to know. I'm always here for a haunted house. I am always here for spooky middle grade, so I'm very, very excited to finally own this one and hopefully read it soon. Probably for Gothtober. And then she also gifted me as well Shattered Midnight, which is by Donielle Clayton, and this one is the second one in the Mirror series, where we are following one family throughout the generations and the curse that follows them. The first one was called The Broken Wish, which I read earlier this year and really, really enjoyed it, so I'm really excited to continue on with the series and see where this one goes. And then absolutely everything else I bought myself. The next 2 I actually bought while I was in London, because for my birthday we took a trip to London to see The Mousetrap in the West End. It was absolutely incredible. If you have not seen it and you get the chance to, please go and see it. There's a reason why it's been running for 70 years and it's like the world's longest running play. It's amazing. Definitely go and see it. But anyway, as we were going towards the theatre, there was a small Waterstones, and it was like, well, we're in London, let's go to Waterstones. So we went in there and I found 2 books that I really wanted. The first one was Nura and the Immortal Palace by M.T. Khan, and this one is actually signed by the author, which I didn't realise until I got home, which is really cool. This one was on the buy one get one half price table, and this one is a middle grade that says, Beware the Glittering World. Nura has worked all her life in the mica mines, hoping to someday find a legendary buried treasure, the Demon's Tongue. But when a terrible accident traps her best friend Faisal underground, she determines to save him and crosses over into the magical and treacherous realm of the Jinn. And I am so excited to read this one. This cover is absolutely stunning. As you can see, it actually opens up like this, so you've got this bit underneath which says, Welcome to the world of magic, splendour and trickery. Welcome to the world of the Jinn. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've wanted this for a really long time. So excited to have this one. And then I also bought on the buy one get one half price How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. This one is a contemporary sort of thrillery thing, and it says they say you can't choose your family, but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. I've heard amazing things about this one, especially from Hannah from Ladder M. It's supposed to be really funny and everything else, and I'm kind of sort of dipping my toe into other genres outside of like fantasy and everything else. So I kind of bought this for myself, kind of also bought this for my mum, because I know she'll probably really enjoy this one, so we'll see what I think about it as well. Either way, it sounds intriguing and I've heard amazing things about it, so we'll see how I feel. And then the final 3 physical things I all got from the charity shop, because we were dumping some stuff off there because we're trying to clear out some of the house for various reasons, and that somehow meant that we came back with 3 more books. I don't know how that happens, but it seems to just happen to us. Anyway, the first one I got was The Twisted Key. This one I know basically nothing about further than the fact that it's really, really pretty. And it's also really pretty on the back. And it says, with blood on her thorns, she must creep through the wall. When the last hope is lost, a twist rose is called. It says, something is wrong in the house that Lynn's family has rented. Lynn is sure of it. The clock ticks too slowly. Frost covers the flower bed, even in a rainstorm. And when a key marked Twist Rose arrives for her, Lynn finds a secret gate in the cellar that leads her to a snowy world of silver. In this frozen realm, Lynn is reunited with Rufus, the pet she thought she had buried beneath the rose bush, and they embark on an adventure to save Silver's winter prince. But danger lies ahead, and if they can't find the prince before the wanderer's star disappears from the sky, all will be lost. And that just sounded really interesting. I'm not gonna lie, this was a little bit of a cover buy because it was only like 50p, and it just sounded really interesting. And I've just realised this has got a wolf on the cover. I've been looking for ages for a book with a wolf on the cover, and this whole time it was in this bag. That was clever. Anyway, I'll know that for next time. I don't have time to read this in April, but I may do, you never know. Either way, that was one of the books I got. And then the other 2 were Terry Pratchett books. The first one is Truckers, and this one, it says, outside, what is it like? Masculine looked blank. Well, he said, it's sort of big. Yes. And there's a lot of it. Yes. Yes. With, you know, things in it. Yes, lots of things. And all of them a mystery to the thousands of tiny gnomes living under the floorboards of a large department store, most of whom have never even set eyes upon the outside world. Things like day and night and sun and rain don't really exist, say all intelligent gnomes. They're just daft old legends. But soon a devastating piece of news is to shatter the gnome's existence. The store, their world, is to be demolished. So it's up to Masculine, the last gnome to come into the store, to mastermind the unbelievable escape plan that will take all the gnomes into the dangers of the great outside. That means they have to think, and they have to think big. And they start to learn who they are and how they came to be there and where their fantastic journey will one day take them. And I know it's not part of Discworld, but I am here for trying other Terry Pratchett like stories, especially like his younger readers stuff and his general fantasy stuff. So this one was also 50p, so I also picked this one up. And then the final physical thing I have is this, which is the complete Discworld Atlas by Terry Pratchett, aided and abetted by the Discworld Emporium. And it says on the back here, the Unseen University are proud to present the most comprehensive map and guide to the disc ever yet produced. And it is literally an atlas to the Discworld. So you've got in here stuff about the Ankh-Morpork and the Stowe Plains, Pseudoopolis. I am dyslexic. I find it quite hard to read some of this bit. You've also got stuff about the Ramtop region. You've also got Uberworld and the Neck Valley, the Widdershins land, Clatch the continent, How Wonderland, Krull and the Termwise Ocean Islands, the Counterweight continent and surrounding islands, and all of this kind of thing in here. It's got loads of illustrations throughout it and all of this kind of thing. And it's just essentially just a guide to the Discworld. And this was literally 50p. And I was like, wow, that's coming home with us because we do not own this. And I'm trying to collect all of the Terry Pratchett books. So this was definitely coming home with us. And I'm so happy to have this one. It is going to be really fun to read and just sort of go through and maybe like dip in and out of basically the geography of the Discworld, which just sounds like a lot of fun. And then we have all of the Kindle stuff. So the first thing I have is Our Shadows Have Claws, 15 Latin American monster stories. So this is a short story collection all about Latin American monster stories, and I think it's all entirely done by Latin American authors, if I remember rightly, and it covers zombies, cannibals, death incarnate, vampires, I think, ghost witches, vicious wolf gods, all of that kind of thing, and it just sounded like fun. That just sounded like fun to me, and it's got obviously a lot of different like Latin American authors on here as well. I obviously want to read more diversely, and I find it really useful to read these kind of short story collections, because it means I can sample a whole load of authors' works and go, right, I really like that writing style, I'll check out that author's work, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and so on and so forth. And also, I'm just really here for more monster books. I'm really here for just more spooky monster books, so that's why I picked this one up. I also got Rosewater, and this one is by Tade Thompson, and again, I've heard really amazing things about this one. And if I scroll down to where it says this one is a science fiction trilogy, or at least the start of it, saying it's perfect for fans of the 5th season, which I very much am. And it says, Rosewater is a town on the edge, a community formed around the edges of a mysterious alien biodome. Its residents comprise of the hopeful, the hungry, and the helpless, people eager for a glimpse inside the dome or a taste of its rumoured healing powers. Caro is a government agent with a criminal past. He is seen inside the biodome and doesn't care to again. But when something begins killing off others like himself, Caro must defy his masters to search for the answer, facing his dark history and coming to a realization about a horrifying future. Again, I've heard amazing things about this book. I've heard so many people really raving about it. I want to read more science fiction, so I picked this one up again while it was on sale. I then got Unbury Your Gaze and Other Queer Tales by Clinton W. Waters. This one I bought because I was looking for trans and non-binary authors and obviously characters for the Trans Rights Readathon, and this is one of the ones I bought and then read. And this one is essentially just a collection of short stories that have like bits of sci-fi, fantasy and horror and that kind of thing. So reanimated best friends, monsters beneath the kitchen sink, desires made manifest, creek creatures, 80s cyberpunk, ghosts and a crashed alien ships and that kind of thing. And I did really enjoy this one. I really enjoyed a lot of the stories. I did specifically really like the reanimated best friend one. That was really good. And I also really liked the monster beneath the sink one. I will say that the desires made manifest one was not my favourite, and then also the like crashed alien ships, if I remember rightly, wasn't my favourite either. But overall, this was a really solid like anthology, so I gave it 4 stars in the end. I did really enjoy it, and I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking for more like trans non-binary authors, especially indie ones. This one's currently only got like 10 reviews at the moment on Amazon, so it definitely needs more love, and I definitely recommend it. I then also got The 6 Deaths of the Saint by Alex E. Harrow, and this one is, it says, the Saints of War spares the life of a servant girl so she can fulfill her destiny as the kingdom's greatest warrior in this short story of love and loyalty. And it says, always mindful of the debt she owes, the girl finds her worth as a weapon in the hands of the prince. Her victories make him a king, then an emperor. The bards sing her name and her enemies fear it, but the war never ends and the cost keeps rising. How many times will she repeat her own story? And again, this sounded really interesting. I really like Alex E. Harrow's writing. I've read like 2 or 3 of her books now and really like them. This one, I think it's a short story. Yeah, it's only 30 pages, so I'm quite interested in that. I think it's part of the series. Is it part of the series? Yeah, it's part of the series, but each one is written by a different person, so that's intriguing. Okay then. But yeah, so I'll be checking out the rest of those as well, but I specifically wanted the Alex E. Harrow one because I really like her writing. I then also got Rin Chupeco's Silver Under Nightfall, and this one is about vampires, and I am just in an absolute vampire mood at the moment. I'm just really craving books and things about vampires, so I picked this one up specifically as well because Abbey of Pelennor really enjoyed this one, so I really wanted to give it a go. I then also got Isola Volume 1, and this one, it says an evil spell has been cast on the Queen of Mar, and her captain of the guard will do anything to reverse it. Their only hope lies on an island half a world away, a place known in myth as Isola, Land of the Dead. And again, I've heard really, really good things about this one. I'm actually going to be reading it in April, so I'll be able to tell you what I think about it in my hopefully mid-month catch-up, probably end of the month wrap-up. Don't know when I'll get to read it, but I am still very, very excited to, because I've heard amazing things about it. I also have Trials of X volumes 1, 2 and 3, because I finished Reign of X at last, so I'm on to Trials of X now, which is the next part in the X-Men Krakoa series, where essentially all of the X-Men are on this little island and they are essentially trying to build their own society there, and it's sort of following all the various teams as they're going on their little adventures. And at least this first couple of ones in this trial series follow the trial of Magneto, because everyone thinks he's killed the Scarlet Witch after the Hellfire Gala, so very excited to see what that's going to mean. I then also have Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, and this one is again about monsters. It says 16-year-old trans boy Benji is on the run from the cult that raised him, the fundamentalist sect that unleashed Armageddon and decimated the world's population. Desperately, he searches for a place where the cult can't get their hands on him, or more importantly, on the bioweapon they infected him with. But when cornered by monsters born from the destruction, Benji is rescued by a group of teens from the local Atchison. Again, I apologise for the pronunciation there, but anyway, the local LGBTQI plus centre, affectionately known as the ALK. The ALK's leader, Nick, is gorgeous, autistic and a deadly shot, but he knows Benji's darkest secret. The cult's bioweapon is mutating him into a monster deadly enough to wipe humanity from the earth once and for all. Still, Nick offers Benji shelter among his ragtag group of queer teens, as long as Benji can control the monster and use its power to defend the ALK. Eager to belong, Benji accepts Nick's terms until he discovers the ALK's mysterious leader has a hidden agenda and more than a few secrets of his own. And I am just here for this. Again, this sounds amazing. I'm here for apocalypse stuff. I'm here for monsters. I am obviously here for more queer books as well, and Own Voices queer books as well. I am here for autistic characters, always here for that as long as they're done well. I don't know how well the autistic representation is done in here, but either way, very excited to read this one. And it just sounds so good. I've had so many people raving about this one throughout the Trans Rights Readathon, so I decided to pick this one up as well. Then I got Heart Haunt Havoc by Freydis Moon, and this one is another one that's a novella that's a bit sort of spooky. And this one, it says, when lonely transgender exorcist Colin Hart finds himself challenged by an unruly haunted house in Gideon, Colorado, he's kept awake by ghosts, demons, ghouls, and the handsome non-binary owner of the house, Bishop Martinez. Unlike the simple hauntings Colin is usually accustomed to, Bishop's house is a living beacon, attracting a plethora of inhuman creatures, including a vengeful wolf-headed spirit who might be the key to quieting their sleepless nights. But as the heartbreaking mystery unravels, Colin comes face to face with the past. Bishop tries to bury and opens a closet full of bloody skeletons and trips into accidental romance. As paranormally skilled as Colin might be, this particular haunting may be too messy for him to handle. Again, here for it. Again, I heard amazing things about this one. I am basically at this point saving up a ton of stuff for Gothtober, and this one sounds perfect for Gothtober, hopefully. Fingers crossed, depending on the prompts. I'll probably read it anyway around them, but either way, very excited to read this as well. I then also have The Wicked Bargain by Gabe Cole Nova. And this one, it says, El Diablo is in the details in this Latinx pirate fantasy, starring a trans-masculine, non-binary teen with a mission of revenge, redemption, and revolution. I need more queer pirates. I've recently been watching Our Flag Means Death. I absolutely love it, and I wanted more queer pirates in my life, so this sounded perfect. Again, loads of people TBR'd this one. I heard amazing things about it, so I picked it up. I also have A Local Habitation. This is book 2 in the Toby Day series by Shauna Maguire. This one is a contemporary fantasy about Toby Day, who is a half-fae private investigator kind of thing. Specifically, she's a changeling, I should say, and she can read what happened in people's past when she tastes their blood and things like this, so she ends up solving murders, all of this kind of thing. I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm really excited for the second one. I then also got Go Hunt Me by Kelly DeVos, and this one, it says, It's basically a thriller following 7 horror buffs as their dream trip to a remote Romanian castle turns into a nightmare when they begin to be killed one by one. I am in my slasher era. That's the only way I can describe this. I'm in my slasher era, and this sounds like a book version of a slasher, and I am just here for that. Again, it's also got that vampire kind of thing as well, which again, I'm here for. It sounded amazing, so I picked it up. Just got 2 more to go, so we're nearly there. The first one is The Marvellous by Donnie L. Clayton. This one is a magical school middle grade, which I'm here for. I've been really enjoying stuff like Amari and the Night Brothers, so I want more sort of magical school things, and this one sounded right up my alley in that sense. I'm absolutely perfect for it. Also, can we appreciate the cover? It is stunning. And then finally, I also got The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. This is the second one in the Bone Season series, and this is basically following clairvoyance in London, where clairvoyancy is outlawed. That's all I really know. That's all I really want to know. I want to go into this one without much knowledge whatsoever. I've heard, again, Abby and a whole load of other people raving about this series. I read the first one, reasonably enjoyed myself, so I want to see what the second one's going to be like as well. So I picked it up while I was sort of on my book haul, essentially, because it just sounded like fun, and it was about time I got this one off my wish list. And that is absolutely everything I bought. So I know that was a lot, but to be fair, it was my birthday, and I'm now going to try and slow down and not buy anything for myself for a while, because this is a lot to get through, and my TBR is already massive, and this is not helping. But I mean, it was my birthday, I was going for it. I was absolutely going for it, but now I'm officially on a bit of a ban. This is not including pre-orders or anything that goes on sale, but I'm going to attempt to kind of stop buying as many for a while, just so I can sort of try and get this under control that little bit. So yeah, I'm now going to try and find places for all of this and try to cut my TBR down, which means I need to go and read something. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which book I should start with. I would love to know. Have you read any of these? Which ones do you recommend? Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a world emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which will have all the information about Reign of X and all the X-Men and all the rest of it. Link down below if you want to check that out, as well as a link down below to my Etsy and Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch if you're interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!